electromechanical device which generates a discrete displacements in response to the DC electrical signals. Uh, so in contrast, the DC motor will produces a continuous rotation on applying the DC voltage, where the stepper motor produces a discrete rotation in response to the DC voltage applied to it. The stepper motors are widely used in the industrial embedded applications, consumer electronic products, and robotics control systems. So the stepper motors are used in various fields. So in the embedded systems and in the consumer electronic products and also in the robotics. So the paper feed mechanism of a printer or a fax makes use of a stepper motor for its function. So if you have visited bank, there they have used a stepper motor in the printer or fax machines. So if you just observe, after typing a whole line, the paper will be moved in a stepwise. Right, the paper will be moving in a stepwise because already the one line has been printed. Now you have to print, the printer has to print the second line. So therefore the paper has to move towards up only for a single step. So the step is already designed, or the step is already the step width or the step angle will be already designed by the programmer itself. So after one line is printed, so according to the step, the paper will be moving towards up. So therefore the second line will be printed. So I hope you have observed all these things. Okay, based on the coil windings, motor is classified into unipolar and bipolar. Okay, based on the coil windings. So this stepper motor will be having the windings in internally. So based on the windings, there are two types, that is a unipolar stepper motor and a bipolar stepper motor. So this is a unipolar stepper motor. Okay, a unipolar stepper motor contains a two windings per phase. So if you just observe, this is one winding and this is another winding. Okay, so A and C comes under one phase and B and D comes under another phase. So there are two phases here. In each and every phase there are two windings. So A is one winding and C is another winding. B and D are the two separate windings. So there are two phases. In each phase there are two windings. So the direction of a rotation of a stepper motor is controlled by changing the direction of the current flow. So based on the direction of based on the change of current flow in the windings, the motor will be rotated either towards a clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. So you can decide the rotation of the motor by changing the direction of currents in the windings. The coils are represented as A, B, C and D. So these are the coils. Okay, and it is represented by AB and AB, C and D. So coil A and coil C carries the current in the opposite direction for the phase 1. So this is phase 1. So in the phase 1, what are the two coils are there? A and C. A will be carrying the current in this direction, if you can observe the arrow mark, and C is carrying the current in this direction. So therefore A and C are carrying the currents in the opposite direction. Similarly, coil B and coil D carries the current in the opposite direction in phase 2. Right, so this is phase 2. In phase 2, the currents are being carried out in the opposite direction. So that is all about a unipolar stepper motor. And coming to the stator winding details for a two-phase unipolar stepper motor. So this is called as a stator windings. Okay, this is called as a stator windings details for a two-phase unipolar stepper motor. So if you just observe here, so this is this is a magnet, so which is having the two poles, the north as well as south pole. So if you just observe here, there are various windings here. So this windings is C, and this winding is D, and this winding is B, and this winding is A. Right, so the various windings are there. So the windings or the coils will be energized based on the type of a rotation it is required. If you want the if the motor wants to be get rotated towards the right side, means then you have to energize the coils in order to make the motor to rotate in a clockwise direction. Or if you want to make the motor to rotate in an anti-clockwise direction, means again you can energize the windings in a different energize the windings in a different manner. So how so this diagram is very important. Okay, the question what it can be asked is explain the stator windings details for a two-phase unipolar stepper motor. So we will understand how actually we need to energize the coils in order to make the motor to rotate in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So another type of a stepper motor is bipolar. Okay, in the next slides I will tell you how to energize the coils. Okay, bipolar stepper motor contains only a single windings per phase. So in the unipolar there were two windings in each phase, but in the bipolar stepper motor there is a single winding per phase. So for reversing the motor rotation, the current flow through the winding is reversed dynamically. So if you want to rotate the motor in a anti-clockwise direction, so you can make the current to flow in a reversed manner. That's all. So now you will be understanding how actually the coils has to be energized. So the stepping of stepper motor can be implemented in different ways by changing the sequence of activation of the stator windings. The different stepping modes supported by the stepper motor are, so there are various steps. You can either go for a full step, half step, or wave step. So the three types of steps are full step, half step, and wave step. So based on these steps, the motor will be rotating in a different manner. So in the full step mode, both the phases are energized simultaneously. See here, coil A and coil B. Both the coils are energized. When both the coils are energized, the motor will be rotated towards this side. See here. So you just assume this as a motor. Okay, this is A, B, C, and D. Okay, these are windings. Okay, I'll not show the windings here. So if I'm energizing A and B, so the motor will be rotated towards this side. Okay, only for this much step. Okay, if I'm energizing A and B, the motor will be rotated only towards a anti-clockwise direction, because it is written as ABCD. I'm writing the I'm energizing the coils in this way, so therefore the motor is rotating towards anti-clockwise. If A and B are energized, the motor is rotated only till this step. Okay, if I'm energizing B and C and now I'm not energizing A, means then again the motor will be rotated towards anti-clockwise direction only for this step. Until this step it will be rotated. And if I'm rotating if I'm energizing C and D coil, and if I'm not energizing B and A, means again the motor will be rotated towards this direction only until this step. Again at last, if I'm energizing D and A, means again the motor will be rotated towards this side, that is in the anti-clockwise direction only for a certain step. I hope you have understood how that coil is energized and how the motor is being rotated from one point to another point. Is it clear? See here, coil A is made high and coil B is made high. Coil C and coil D are made low. So I mean to say that coil A and coil B are energized. If coil A and coil B are energized, then the motor will be rotated only towards this. Okay, if I'm energizing A and D, then the motor will be rotated towards this. If I'm energizing C and D, then the motor will be rotated only towards this. So likewise, the motor will be rotated based on energizing the coils. So if you just observe in the full step, okay, coil A, coil B are energized. Yes. And in the next step, coil B and coil C are energized, and coil C and coil D are energized in the third step. And in the fourth step, coil A and coil D are energized. H means high, L means low, as you all know that. So is it clear about the first full step concept?
Yes, sir.
So wave
Yes, sir.
step. So what is a wave step is, it is same as full step, but here we are not energizing the two coils at the same time, but we are energizing only a single coil. So in the wave step mode, only one phase is energized at a time, and each coils of the phase is energized alternatively. So the coils A, B, C and D are energized in the following order. See, if you just observe, coil A is energized here in the phase 1. Okay, coil B is not energized. Coil C and coil D all are not energized here. So therefore the motor will be rotated only towards A. Okay, next, now I'm energizing B. I'm not energizing other coils. I'll just show. So this is a motor. So in the wave step A, you can write the windings however you want, but the explanation should be proper. So if I'm energizing A, the motor is towards this coil. And if I'm energizing B and I'm de-energizing A, means then the motor will be turning towards this side. Then if I'm energizing C, motor turns this side. Here, if I'm energizing D, the motor turns this side. So likewise, see here, only coil A is energized in the first step. In the second step, coil B. In the third step, coil C. In the fourth step, coil D. So likewise, we are energizing only a single coil in one phase. So how many phases are there? There are two phases. In one phase, there were two windings. So in this wave step, we are energizing only one coil in each phase. Okay, one coil in a phase. Okay, now we will be understanding the half step. Okay, we'll be understanding the half. Is everyone clear with the wave step?
Yes, sir.
Coming to half step, it uses the combination of wave as well as full step. So whatever the energizing method that we were using in the full step and wave step, so both the methods are being combined in the half step. It is the higher, it has the highest torque and stability. The coil energizing sequence for half step is given below. See here, as we have already told that it is a combination of wave as well as full step. So first we are energizing A, and in the second step we are retaining the energy, we are retaining the uh, A itself. We are retaining the A, sorry, the coil A is energized in the second step. In the same step we are also energizing B. Okay, in the third step, you just observe all the coils are made low except coil B. Okay, and in the fourth step we are not de-energizing coil B, we are retaining like that only. Coil C is energized. See, if you just observe the first step of wave step. Okay, so this step is retained here, and this step is bought here. So that's why they are telling that it is a combination of wave as well as full step. I'll write and show so that it will be easy. So first I'm energizing coil A, then I'm retaining A and I'm energizing B. Okay, and in the third step I'm retaining B and I'm energizing C. In the fourth step I'm retaining C and I'm energizing D. Similarly, I'm retaining D and again I'm energizing A. So this is how it is shown here. See, H is retained and you are energizing coil B, and H is retained in the third step and you are energizing C here, and C coil is energized, sorry, it is retained, and D is energized, and D is retained and you are energizing A also. Is the half step clear?
Yes, sir.
So the rotation of a stepper motor can be reversed by reversing the order in which the coil is energized. If you want to reverse the whole rotation, then you can reverse the whole energizing method. Whatever we have followed for this method, it will be reversed. And again, the two-phase unipolar stepper motor is most commonly used in many of the embedded systems. So the current requirement for the stepper motor is little high. and hence the port pins of microcontroller or microprocessor may not be able to drive them directly. So depending upon the current and voltage requirement, the special driving circuits are required to interface the stepper motor with microcontroller or microprocessor. So what they're telling about this, what they're explaining in this particular slide is they're explaining about the driver IC. Okay, so we cannot directly connect this stepper motor to the microcontroller because it is expecting some high voltages, and we cannot supply all the high voltages directly from the port pins of microcontroller. So therefore we are using the driver circuit, and we are not bothered about what actually that is there in the driver circuit. So the driver IC is what? ULN 2808, sorry, 2803. So which is having some diodes and the inverters. So this IC is having some diodes and inverters. That internal structure, it is not there in your syllabus. So what you have to understand is, so this stepper motor will be expecting the high voltages. Hence these port pins are not enough to provide are not stable enough to provide such a high voltages. So therefore we are using the driver ICs. So this driver ICs is responsible to give a sufficient amount of voltages in order to make the stepper motor to rotate in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, right? So this driver circuit we have already seen with respect to the relays, because the relay will be energized and de-energized continuously. So therefore we have used the driver circuit for relays also. So what are all the elements that are there in the driver circuit for relays? Freewheeling diode as well as transistor, right? So that internal structure they have shown, but here they have not shown because the internal structure of this particular IC is huge. So therefore that is not there in your syllabus. We shall not discuss about it. So what is a stepper motor? A stepper motor is a motor where its motion is in a form of steps. So each and every step may depend upon the designer. So the step may be 4 steps or 8 steps, or it depends upon the designer again. So the step may take 1 degree or 2 degrees or 90 degrees. Again it depends upon the designer. All right. So we have discussed about of 3 steps, how to energize the coils. That is half. What are all the 3 steps that we have discussed? Half step, full step, and wave step.